Hi there, my name's Josh Redshaw. I'm a Senior Account Manager at Transition Partners, and today I've got the amazing Leslie Baker to talk over a few subjects that I wanted to cover off in regards to the whole pandemic situation. Very much covering off where we were before, what we've done during that lockdown where normal life has been kind of taken away, and what we've done differently after that period. What have we taken with us from this lockdown period that we can really utilise going forward? I'd love to introduce Leslie, but I'm pretty sure he'll do an amazing job himself. So Leslie, over to you.
Thanks, Josh. So I'm Les Baker. Before COVID, I was working as development manager for many years, built on many previous years of success as a developer, senior developer. Started my career as a junior, worked my way up through mid, senior level, moved to Leeds, and then after that, gradually moved my way into the management sphere, so to speak. Been doing that for several years, worked in various sectors, industries, and I say both as a developer and a manager. Unfortunately, I was made redundant in April, and like many people in this country, I found myself looking for work. That's me.
Great. And in terms of, you just said there you was made redundant, what were you very much doing before that? Because also I know you touched upon the development experience you've had, moving to that management experience, but do you do anything differently in terms of, let's say, any blog writing, any sort of tech events, or was it very much going to work, doing that technical thing and coming home and really relaxing away from the working environment?
It's a good question. I think before COVID hit, there was a complete combination of the things you've talked about. So you'd have blogs I would tend to read rather than write. I would go to tech events. If anyone knows Leeds Digital Festival, there's Coding in the Dark, which I recommend anyone to go to. It's great fun. Very interesting to watch. And as a coming from a development background, it was immensely fun to kind of see what people could do without seeing what the output is, and that's Coding in the Dark. Many events I attend, there was events for technology or for learning opportunities, there was training, all these kind of things that you take for granted that you do in society amongst other people, that of course have now all gone. I mean, there was all these events got cancelled overnight for because it was meetings in large places. I mean, it was lots of that. There was those side projects I'd always have an interest but never really got involved. And of course, I had my day job and then family life, etc., as well outside. So pretty much a typical everyday life, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, great. And so what have you done differently since you've been made redundant, having that time scale of 10 to 12 weeks where you've been in lockdown? What have you done differently in that time frame that you potentially wasn't doing before?
Well, I can tell you I've spent more time playing catch with my daughter than I ever have beforehand. I think I've got very, very inept at that, and my daughter certainly has improved her skills. My footballing skills seem to have improved a lot as well. I can now hit the bathroom window 2 times out of 3. I think, jokes aside, I think the pandemic has forced me to focus more on my career. It's forced me to focus more on what I want out of my career. The work-life balance being very, very important part of that. The interesting thing is that beforehand, I could have had these ideas of things I'd want to do, never really had the time to do it. And of course, now I've got the time. So I've been exploring being self-employed. I've explored the possibility of starting my own business startups. And ironically, there are a lot of startups out there that, through the LinkedIn network that I've been working on as well, I've got to meet more people. There's various coronavirus support groups that started up as a result of the pandemic, one of which I've been on helping people to work out how they can work from home, because in IT, we're used to working from home to a degree. We've never really had an issue with working from home. In fact, we've wanted to work from home more, which brings me on to the other subject, which is that through this pandemic, originally people working from home in development, it's not so much frowned upon, but it was a case of you can work from home, but for the needs of the business, we need you in the office. And it's always justifiable. It's absolutely justifiable. But of course, with COVID hitting, you've suddenly found that everyone's got to work from home. So developers who've been asking for years to be able to work from home permanently have now been told they have to. And of course, now they've proved not only can they work from home, but they can get more work done. And it's not surprising as to why. When you look at what your standard day is in the morning, but anyone that's listening to this will know, you get up in the morning, your standard routine before COVID was get up, get washed, get changed, have your breakfast, and then get yourself psyched up, ready to get in the car.
Of course.
Drive to the office, get to the office, and then you have to psych yourself up again, ready to start your day. You go get your coffee, you get your tea, you repeat the whole process again.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, with COVID, if you're working from home, well, you get up, you get changed, all that, and then you're ready. You're now ready to work. You haven't got that time, that 2 hours spent getting in the car, getting to the office, getting out, settled, etc., etc., and of course coming back in the evening as well. So you're getting more of that time back, and because you're getting that time back, you're more relaxed. You get more work done. The performance of people tends to go up as well. People tend to be able to achieve more during the working day. You know, productivity comes up, which is an interesting thing from a development perspective, because we've been asking for this for a long time in the industry, and suddenly we're forced on it. This is, I think, why a lot of businesses are now turning towards working from home permanently. There's a number of roles that I've been applying for through this pandemic, and a number of them started off before the pandemic hit. There's a load of roles out there, a load of them got put on hold very, very quickly. Got put on hold. The ones that came off hold were then changing, whereas before they were maybe partially remote, mostly in the office. It now changes to you can work from home and come into the office less frequently. One role that I was looking at was applying, when it came off hold, was applying for developers all over the country, for development managers around the country as well, and all of them were remote, with the requirement only be in the office 1 day a week. 1 day a month.
Oh, right,
So
okay.
that's a big shift. And I think moving out to after the pandemic, I think this is likely to stay the same. So yeah, I think the pandemic has changed that way of working. It's certainly changed the way I've looked for work as well. You know, having more time free, I've had more time to explore the things that interest me. So I'm sat here looking. I've got a NAS box that I built out of an old ProLiant server. I've got a Raspberry Pi that I bought a new Raspberry Pi so I can have a play with that and experiment with that, because I've got the time. Because also I've got that free time around you. Because you're locked down, there's nowhere else you can go. You don't want to get cabin fever, so you keep your time busy, keep your hands busy. I think in terms of general work-life balance, I think that's one of the things that I think has been beneficial out of this, at least with lockdown. You've got to look at the positives, of course, and no one wants to focus on the negatives of lockdown. We're all stuck at home, can't go out, can't socialize with our friends properly. The other thing that's worth mentioning as well is people are communicating more by Zoom, they're communicating more by Skype, Teams, Facebook, etc. The interviews I've had have all been on Teams, or on Skype, or on Zoom, or some other platform. Name any other platform, so I'm not picking one at random. And the interesting thing as well with those is that they're hiring people without seeing them face to face in person, all via these, which again, it's a massive shift in a very short space of time.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, we've been working with a lot of clients who have just been doing the onboarding via Zoom, not saying come to the office, do it face to face, because I think what it's showing is how far technology has advanced compared to what we were doing before. And I think it's going to teach clients a lot of different ways of recruiting, a lot of different ways of hiring, and a lot of different ways of actually the day-to-day work. Like ourselves at Transition Partners, we've got a great management team who have been very much focusing on our welfare. And I think off the back of that, we've succeeded, and that's probably changed the way that we're going to do things day to day as well. So I completely agree with what you're saying. And obviously in that time frame, apart from your catching and your footballing skills, and obviously also you're being able to look at the market and see what clients are doing differently. What can you take away, and what are you going to do differently? What does life look like now for you moving forward?
It's a good question. I think for me, as well as many others, I think in software development particularly, life is going to be very different. Certainly the indicators have already said are that a lot more roles are going to be working from remote. I think that a lot of companies who are not embracing the working from home full time, I think they're the ones that over time potentially may start to suffer, because if you've got one role here that says you can work completely remote, another role says, well, actually we want you in the office 5 days a week. There's a big benefit to working from home, which we've already said. There's lots of benefits. You're more control of your day, and you haven't got the travel. And let's be honest, you haven't got the cost of travel as well. You haven't got that travel out. I think for me personally, I think it's given me a great insight into what a good work-life balance is. I've certainly enjoyed certain aspects of being at home more, although I've also equally not enjoyed certain other aspects. I think, you know,
Yes.
the forced being
Completely
at home is very different from a voluntary side of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in terms of how I'm going to move forward in the future, I think the investigations I've done into being self-employed, into startups, I've now, you know, got a whole list of things that I'm going to do in my side projects that were going to keep me busy as well. Awesome. That will, someone told me it's called a side hustle, to run a business alongside your main job, which I've never heard before.
No.
So I've learned something as well through this pandemic.
Right.
But I think having that side business running on the side, I think is something that's going to be an interest for me. It's a new hobby to start up in a way, and equally the opportunities that it's opened up in that sense, that for those that are looking around for it, I think the opportunities are going to be immense. And
great.
You know, the future is looking. I think the future is looking positive. Yes, there are some concerns. A lot of people are worried about a recession, but as you know, I've said before, is that the companies I'm speaking to around the area, companies speaking to around the country, are saying the same thing to me, that if you've got a choice between having a workspace or having your staff, you're going to have your staff. You're not going to keep a massive workspace on just for the people, because the people, they can work from home. Equally, there's other companies I've spoken to, they're saying actually, because they may be even tied into a lease, or because they just want to, they're going to make that workspace that they've got with less people in it, but make it a more fun, enjoyable workspace to be in. So make more use of the space that they've got in these areas and let people work more from home. So I do think the landscape is changing. I think it's changing rapidly. People that I know that have never really been tech savvy have suddenly learned how to do Zoom calls and Teams calls and everything else. The in-laws suddenly know how to do Zoom and Skype, which can be great, and sometimes we get a phone call. But I think that the future's bright, and I think it's very positive. I think there's a lot to come out of this.
Great. No, and I really, really appreciate your time, Leslie. You've touched upon a number of subjects there, gone to in-depth in a lot of areas that I didn't know about, and gave me real food for thought as well. I understand you're doing a lot of blog writing, which you're going to be publishing, and we're going to have many video calls in regards to them and try and get that as much exposure as possible. So I'm really looking forward to working in the future, and thanks for your time again. Thank you.
Many thanks. Thank you.
Okay.